Hey guys, welcome to today's podcast episode. I'm really excited about today's guest. His name is Rahul Sharma, and he's an author, he's an organization development expert, public speaker, coach, and we're going to talk about cultivating, empowering internal leaders in the organization. He's got this interesting idea around mind talk, mindset shifts, habits, and essential skills to cultivate transition. So, Rahul, welcome.
Thank you, Chris, for having me here. You're doing an amazing job with the podcast, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Tell people about your story, your background, how you got started, and we'll get right into it.
Sure. So I'm a learning and development professional, also an author and leadership coach, and I have been into this journey of my own development over probably 20 years. And mindset is something I'm very passionate about because I do believe whatever we do first starts with our mind. And if we allow our mind to work on us, we can create our own miracles.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. So kind of talk about what this this art of mind talk. Because I was talking to one guest yesterday, and she was telling me talking about creating mental boundaries, which is interesting. And now you have this idea of mind talk, crafting your own reality.
So, mind talk, the way I see it is it's basically about talking to our own self about us. So most of us we do it whether we are driving or whenever we are in an activity where we are not engaged with any other activity. We are thinking, we are talking to our own self. And what I do, or what I have written in my book, Habits for Miracles, Chris, is our mind has a gift of the best Mother Nature has given to us. And I do believe that if we can have a positive conversation with us, it will lead to positive thoughts, and those positive thoughts will lead to positive action, leading to a very fulfilling, happy, and prosperous life that will allow us to design our life in our own way.
Yeah, which is quite I love this idea. There's this idea where you don't allow ideas and thoughts to live rent free in your mind, so you kind of cultivate thoughts that are empowering or inspiring, get you to where you need to be. The other thing is this when you talk about mindset shifts and and you talk about unlocking the key to personal and professional growth. So how do you make that shift?
So I want to say that it is not an easy shift, because if it would be easy, everyone would do it, and everyone would have their life their way. The unfortunate part, according to Forbes research, Chris, only 8% of us are able to convert our dreams into reality. So there are 92% of us who have a dream but don't have any concrete action, and we don't take any concrete steps. So first and foremost, for us to change that mindset, we should start practicing gratitude and act of kindness. Most of the time, we think about things that we don't have, and very seldomly we forget about things that we have. So my request to our listener would be, practice gratitude, show with act of kindness, be kind to others, listen to others, and focus on having a inner circle of people who are very, very positive, people who are giving you positivity, people who are giving you the right energy that will help you take positive action. So, if we can start practicing gratitude, practicing kindness, having a right people in our inner circle, it will allow us to have a right mindset to start with.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this because basically, when you talk about the mind talk and the mental boundaries, and you start to shift, that's how you start to kind of shift your perspective, and that's kind of like that's your path toward the key to personal and professional growth.
Yeah.
The other question that we talk about is, you know, cultivating a positive mindset, and you have kind of steps and on how individuals can cultivate this positive mindset and create more joy and fulfillment in their lives.
Yeah. So, first thing I would say is you have to develop this approach of having positive action. Many a times we think of taking action till the time it is perfect, and I believe, I would not say I believe it. I have learned hard way that there is nothing called perfection. It's all about the perspective. So my request would be to start taking imperfect action, but on a consistent basis. Most of us, we fail to go to the next level because we give up. We give up because we are not very serious about our goals, our dreams. Um, every day, like I was talking to one of the individual, and he was sharing with me that when I get up every day, I think of conquering the world. Every day, I think of conquering the world, and I need your help. And I was just telling the individual that, can you jot down that what does conquering the world mean to you? What are you doing today that will help you conquer the world? So where I'm going with that is we have a lot of ambitions, we have a lot of goals and dreams, and when we work on multiple goals and dreams at a one time, we are not able to give our best. We will give our mediocre result or mediocre performance to all those dreams. So as we say that one landing at a time, one plane lands at a time, and the team which is making sure that that flight is landing, they are only focused on that one flight. They are not focused on all the other flights which is in the air. So for us, we can have that mindset change or cultivate that mindset if we can narrow down on that one goal or maybe two, and just have a laser focus to just take care of those things.
Yeah, when you mentioned every day conquering the world, that just conjures images of just adversarial, but growth and things such as making a good contribution. Which is one thing is talking about is you talk about sharing an example of a mindset shift that's had a profound impact on your life.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so I have two stories, but in the essence of time, I will share one, which happened like 4 years ago when I wanted to start swimming as my regime for being fit. The goal was not to focus on the weight loss, the goal was to remain fit and have a healthy lifestyle. And I struggled initially. Swimming was my passion when I was growing up. In the last 20 years, I was just doing swimming for leisure with kids. And when I went back to the pool, the first day, just 25-meter lap on a pool was so difficult for me. I had to take breaks to complete that one lap. And after that one lap, Chris, I had to take another 10, 15 breaks. So I could not do more than 4 laps. And after each lap, it was 10-minute break. And I realized that something is not right. I realized that something is missing. And when I was doing the mind talk with my own self, I realized that how fit I was 20, 25 years ago when I used to love swimming, I'm no more that much fit today. So that was a reality hit on me, and I started thinking that what I need to do differently. So I did some research and found out that if you want to do swimming for more fitness, try to spend time on doing backstroke or a breaststroke rather than freestyle. Freestyle is good for you to lose weight, burn more calories, but to stay longer in the pool, backstroke and breaststrokes are good. So I started on that. Day two, I came in, I did backstroke and breaststrokes with 2 laps without any stop. And every day I was able to increase my laps to two with two count. And in the period of 3 weeks, I was able to do 40 laps without any break. And that I was able to do with the mindset of never giving up. It was very easy. There was something telling me that, man, hey, it's okay, man. If you're not able to do it, try something else. but I never give up. I worked on it. I tried hard, and that is the one of the mindset shift in me that made me go to that 40 laps without any break.
Yeah, I love that. Um, One thing, the other thing is talking about is you talk about habits and habit formation. What are some common habits associated with happiness and well-being?
I would say the self love. I think we don't care of our own self as much as we care for others. That is unfortunate. And if we can stay healthy, if we can stay fit, that is how we will be able to help with others. I would also say is another habit would be more of practicing positivity within us and within the environment that we are in. Um, Unfortunately or fortunately, there are close to 60 to 80,000 thoughts come in our mind in a single day. And 90% of those thoughts are negative. So
Yeah,
if we are not surrounded with positive literature, positive people, if you're not watching positive video, by default, we will think negative because that is what our mind is reading 90% of the time, our mind is thinking. So having a very positive environment around us would be another habit that I would say. And the other one which I would recommend is being calmness. Sometimes we want to do things in a very quick and rush manner, and we don't we feel very calm. And I would encourage our listeners to practice calmness in their approach. That will allow them to maintain their blood pressure, that will allow them to maintain their healthy lifestyle.
yeah. Yeah, I really I love this idea of cultivating because I've been recently just very extremely conscious like who I'm around and their energies, and the influences, either turn off the media, turn off CNN, and just cultivating things that kind of uplift you, and that's huge, like, in just kind of that energetically allows you to you know uh, become happier. So you have this idea of this circle of happiness. What is that?
So circle of happiness, as I was sharing earlier, it start with positive mind talk. And I talk so much about this concept that my kids have started using it, and they are my live and breathing testament. And I positive mind talk is all about talking to our own self, as I said earlier. The only difference I would say is when I speak with many people, I learned that a lot of people are already doing it. They call it as a self talk, and what they do is they use the word I instead of using their name. And
Uh,
research shows that if you change from that word I to your own name while doing that mind talk, it will allow you to stay more cooler, more calmer, and it will allow you to distinguish between the rationalism that is going in your mind. So what happens when we are thinking or when we are talking positive to ourselves is automatically our mind will start having positive thoughts, and
uh,
those positive thoughts will allow us to think about positive action, progressive action, rather than thinking negatively. And when you take those progressive or positive action, it makes you more healthy, it makes you more happier. And that is what the circle of happiness, which is positive mind talk, positive thoughts, positive action, which leads to a happier life, a positive life. So it is that circle. So you, in order to be happy, we need to think about being happy, because our mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imaginary. So if we imagine that we are happy, the brain cells stays happier for 6 hours. That is what our scientists are saying. So start thinking positive and you will be happy.
yeah, it's kind of like really kind of the more I study the law of attraction and how you cultivate law of attraction, this part of it is a lot of it's like the perception and kind of what you focus on grows, and that's how you manifest. That's how you start manifesting, your goals
Absolutely.
and dreams. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. The next question I have is, you talk about miracles in your book, and then also, what advice do you have for readers who are looking to create positive habits and achieve their own miracles?
Sure. So the word miracle I have used is more about not about supernatural miracles, but it is about something that we could not do earlier and we are able to do it now. In itself is a miracle. So what I would advise is sometimes we tend to think too much negative about the action that we are taking. We are being too much stressful on us on our own action. So I say that be kind to your own self, because if we are kind to our own self, we will be able to think more clear, and we will be able to take more action. So in order for us to create our own miracles, the first thing we need to do is know our why, that why we want to do what we want to do. That is number one. Number two, I would say, is know yourself. Most of the people that I talk to, sometimes they do not realize what are their strengths, what are their shortcomings, where they want to focus on. They want to conquer the world, but they don't know about themselves. So it's so important for us to really know our own self, by knowing our strengths, by knowing our personality, and by knowing what is not our cup of tea, what is not that we cannot do. So that is important, and focus on one thing or maybe two things at a time, rather than taking 10 goals in one go. And if we are able to take care of these aspects, we will be able to create our own miracles.
Yeah, I love that. Um, Kind of as we come to the close, there was a follow up question I had on habit formation and people, wanting to manifest miracles and create these positive habits. What are some common obstacles to habit formation, and how can these be overcome?
So the common obstacle that I see is we don't make it as a priority. Since we have too many goals or too many habits that we want to form, we tend to give very mediocre performance on all the habits, and we don't make it as a priority. The other thing I would say is lack of accountability. We don't make our own self accountable, and we rely on other things, or maybe we rely on other people to make us accountable. I think if something has gone wrong, we need to be accountable for making it wrong, rather than giving a benefit of doubt to someone else, or maybe a weather, or maybe any other circumstances.
Yeah.
And my recommendation for people to focus on would be start with small. Don't focus on big things. Start small, so that when you achieve that, you can celebrate, and have an accountability partner. Maybe it could be your friend, it could be your spouse, or it could be a colleague. Focus on those aspects. And last but not the least is focus on that why you want to do what you want to do, because once that why is clear, then I don't think we will have any obstacle. Most of the time we have obstacles because our why is not very clear.
Mm, yeah, clarity, clarity. How can people contact you, follow you, reach out to you, check out your work, etc.?
Sure. So people can log into my book website, habits number four miracles.com. It has all my social media pages. Best way to connect with me would be on LinkedIn. I'm very savvy on LinkedIn, and will be more than happy to assist people. And if they reach out to me and refer to your podcast, I will be able to send them a free ebook of my book, which is Habits for Miracles.
Yeah. And for all the listeners out there, let's thank Rahul for coming on to the show, and, check out his book as well, reach out to him. And with that, thanks so much for coming onto the podcast.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. Thank you.